record. All right, we are officially recording. Awesome. So we can turn this in. Okay, so I have the stories, so I'm going to read aloud a story. Then you will pick a card, which we're going to type in chat. I'll count down 3, 2, 1. We'll all hit enter, and then we see them all. And then if they're the same, we move on. If they are not, highest and lowest people will talk and discuss why they want it to be that, and then we will repeat until we get all of them done. So I'm just going to start at the top of the list. For a Moodle type service, as a user, I want to upload graphs and images so I can share them with peers. And the cards we have are 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 20, and question mark. It's very close to a Fibonacci sequence, but not quite. Which, okay. So everyone type in the chat, but do not hit enter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, enter. Okay. Amanda, you were the highest. Why an 8?
I was kind of between 5 and 8, but full disclosure, I work for a learning technology company. So I don't work for Moodle, but this kind of stuff hits really close to home. So I was just thinking you have to have some kind of upload functionality. You have to be able to store and host the images somewhere. Then you have to set kind of sharing permissions, which can involve roles and permissions. Are you just having a link someone can copy and paste and share with anybody, or is it is there something more sophisticated with that? And then you have to have the UI that can render the image. You have to be able to retrieve it and then render it.
Okay, cool. I didn't think about the storing of the data, I think. So I think that's why I might have underestimated. I was just thinking about the processing. So cool. Shall we try again? That story again. We all get to type a number.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, enter.
I feel like I was being too negative, I think.
You made it sound so difficult.
I know, that's the problem. It's I've done stuff in real life with big dev teams, and so I'm 20s across the board. No.
Right there. There's a 5.
All right.
I had 5 originally, so stick with it.
We can be convinced to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me read the next one. Open up the right tab. Okay, still for a Moodle type service. As an administrator, I want to introduce an anti-plagiarism tool.
Anti-plagiarism.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, enter. All right, so we have 2 13s, 2 8s. I think, right, I'm thinking of Turnitin, if you've ever used Turnitin. Implementing Turnitin from scratch, I think would be a lot more difficult. I think that there's probably a way to put Turnitin on a thing. I don't know the fine detail, so I was thinking from scratch being a little harder.
Yeah, I was kind of following that a similar lot. I was if you're just implementing, if Turnitin has an API and you just get to flip a switch, that's a small piece of work. But if you're actually going to build the web crawler and do all this stuff, that's a larger. So I think it really varies from what that means. So that's why I had the worst case.
Yes, same. It's cat time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I thought that I'm not sure how to build it efficiently, but I thought I can build it. So because it's just comparing 2 sources really, and yeah, the web crawler with the other source. Why I picked 8.
Right. Yeah. The big question is like if it is from scratch versus using like an existing piece of software, right?
Yeah.
I think like maybe we should assume it's an existing piece of software because like Moodle, I mean, or Moodle like service, they usually like their specialty is like the management system and stuff. Like they usually will farm out those kinds of things to like, because something like Turnitin or what, it's its own product, it's its own like thing. So
Right.
Yeah. I think that we just have to, this is an assignment for a class that we're doing, just make an assumption.
yeah.
So let's make the assumption that this is like, we're just implementing something that has already been packaged and we're just adding it to our. Can't stop. Sorry, my cat is. Okay, let's go again with the assumption that this is something that we don't have to implement from scratch. 3, 2, 1.
Oops. I thought if it's just an API, so then this is easy, right? Then you can just add the API calls, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
I could be talked down to a 5.
I
don't
could find down to a 5 as well.
I don't think I could go to as low as a 3 because I think there could just be some like unexpected surprises.
Yeah, sure, that's always the case. So I can go up to 5. That's fine.
Okay. So we have 2 5s. Let's see if the next one will also be a 5. As a user, I want data visualization on Moodle so I have a better understanding of my progress. And I'm going to say that this one, like you could implement data visualization libraries. Like you don't have to build a PyPlot from scratch. Just so we're all thinking from the same framework. Okay.
Right.
3, 2, 1.
Nice. Pretty close.
Yeah. I was just thinking of, I'm not sure if anybody else has taken InfoVis.
Mm-hmm.
I did the programming one, and there were a lot more features that I would want to encode that I didn't have time to. So that's why I went a little bit higher. I didn't get I like my visualizations to be like super, super interactive, and I didn't get time to do that, but I'm also not great at coding GUIs. So that's where we are.
Nice.
Does someone want to speak on behalf of their 5?
Yeah, I was just going on the basis that like, kind of the previous discussion that we had in the last one, like, okay, well, if it's already existing software, it shouldn't be too difficult. And then you could probably find, a piece of existing software to be able to do, the visualization to the degree that you'd like it to be, interactive or, dumb it down as much as possible or spice it up as much as possible, right?
Yeah, and I think it depends on like what they mean by progress. Like, is that how my scores compare to like as a student? Is it how my scores compare to other classmates on a particular assignment? Is it how much work I've completed against like the whole of the semester or the week? Like, so I think some of that depends, and then the aggregations that you have to like that you'd have to code in to like pipe to the visualization tool.
Okay. Yeah, because like if it was just me coding it, then I think it would definitely be like an 8 or higher, but that's just where I am coming from. If someone feels more confident and we're doing this as a team, I would just like let you handle that, and I would put the number lower because I wouldn't have to worry about it. So I can be talked down to a 5 if someone feels confident that they could take the lead on that. Knowing that
Tableau.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sabine?
I haven't worked with it. I haven't taken the class, so maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. But I thought it's not so much data, and the databases already exist probably. This is why I thought it's a 5. But
Yeah,
I couldn't
I
take the
think
lead.
you're totally right about the database already existing. Like
Mhm.
they got all that data. You just have to be able to access it.
Mhm.
And like a crunch, like do the aggregations or whatever, whether you want to do them on the fly or if you want to like store them in some way.
For sure.
Data gets expensive, the calculations. But yeah, I think, I don't know.
Do we want to try to chat blast this one more time?
I'm like wavering.
Okay.
I also feel like everything's a 5.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Okay, let's chat blast it one more time and see kind of how we're feeling as a group. Okay, ready? 3, 2,
That's gonna go the
1,
other
go
way.
again. Okay, so it looks like we've moved up a little bit as a group.
Yeah, I can move up too.
Okay. Again, like if someone was on the team who's like, I got it, visualizations, PyPlot, all the stuff is my jam, I'd be like, cool. That is I will help, but you take lead.
Yeah, I mean, it always depends just on the expectations, right? So PyPlot
Exactly.
is not the issue. If you want to look at pretty, then it might be a lot harder. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we are out of Moodle things and we're e-commerce service. For an e-commerce service, as a user, I want to compare the costs and reviews of products.
You read that one more time?
Yep. For an e-commerce service, as a user, I want to compare the costs and reviews of products.
Custom reviews.
And would the user pick which product?
I would assume that the user would pick the 2 products and you would be able to see cost and reviews. This is how I'm imagining it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be like this.
Right.
I just imagined a vertical. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh God! Oh God! We're everywhere.
Amanda had 2 numbers.
No, I know. I wanted to I think because I was the last one to answer before.
Okay. I don't know. I think that this again goes with expectations. Like, how pretty do you want this to be? I was just thinking, like, honestly, like the raw data, price, average review, like most favorable review, most favorable review, most helpful review, most helpful review. That would not be hard to compile into a page.
Yeah, I was thinking that
How
like
interactive do you want it to be? How pretty?
And yeah, no, that. Sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
Oh no, go ahead, Sabine. Go ahead.
No, I thought too complicated. I think that to really compare 2 products to be similar, I thought there must be some kind of search in between that you can really look for this. I don't know if you have 2 computers that you have the same RAM and the same this and that. And so I thought that the products need to be in this format. And but if you really just compare costs and maybe the number of stars, this is different. Yeah. So I can go down for sure.
So I had that there'd be some UI work just to kind of create like the visual, like the map, like the visual of them being compared side by side. That you already have this stuff in the database, but you would have to do some aggregations like on top of that. So like max review or like average review or something like that. And then, yeah, so I had like, that's why I had it at 5. I thought like most of that's there. You just have to add a little onto it.
All right, let's try this one again. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm in the middle. I don't have to talk. Haha.
Only two numbers, it's the cost and the number of stars, and that's it. Nope. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can go down. I'm afraid to like change mine because I feel like every time we do it, like screws everything up. Yeah, I think I could go to like a, let's see, I guess 1 is the easiest. Yeah. Yeah.
Anthony, could you go down to a 3?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I was going to the actual. I was just running back to the email to look at the like statement again. So I just pulled that up. I think initially like why I had rated it like higher is like an 8 because I was just thinking if you're going like across websites, but if it's just for like one e-commerce service, like if it's just for Amazon or something, then I could definitely see that being like an easier thing because you just have to figure out how to. It's just like pull information display,
Yeah.
right? So I would say probably, I think like somewhere in the middle of where we're at is probably a good space.
We're not supposed to average. It was like an instructions, I think.
It's true. We aren't. But
Not
if you
fine,
feel
then.
justified in saying that it's in between what you thought and what someone else thought, I feel like that's an okay thing to say.
Right,
It's
which is
I
what
think
I'm
that
saying.
it's just don't say, oh, let's average it and get done with this assignment.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think it's more like it's yeah, personally, I haven't done like much web development. So that's like a lot of like how I'm thinking about this too, is like I'd have to figure out how to do that. But for someone who like is already familiar with the tools, then that's like a very simple thing to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, well, I have to go look around for a little while and figure out how to pull the information in the way that I would need to.
Yeah.
And then to like build a UI and do this, this sort of stuff. And it's like, I don't really have too much experience doing that sort of thing. So that's definitely coming into consideration for like the higher rating as well, right?
Yeah. And I think as we get to know each other as a team, we will know like, oh, this person is really good at HTML and CSS and can make a real sharp page. This person is awesome at SQL and can get into all the data, whatever. It's like if you were a baby, using a spoon would be a 20.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
That's how I feel about this. Like I do SQL at work, and so I'm like, oh, I like the SQL part, but I don't know how to get like the SQL inserted into the code to like render it to the like UI, like where that like all those pieces like come together.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So did we actually come to an agreement on this one?
I'm fine with like a 3.
I'm also okay with the 3, as you can see from the 3 that I put in the chat.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Okay. As a busy shopper, I want to check out just one item. So I think that that's kind of like if you're on Amazon, it's like quick buy, like that. That's what I'm envisioning that to mean, because otherwise it would just like you hit add to cart and then you go check out like normal, which isn't really a feature. Okay. 3, 2, 1. This is just adding a button on the page that takes you to your cart, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was it just bypasses the? Do you want like on Amazon? Do you want to your cart or continue shopping? Like it just.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining it as too.
I thought it speeds up a different number of pages, maybe also the address, and then I'm already registered, that it doesn't ask me like that again. Like, I've never used the one-click feature on Amazon. So does it just bring you to the cart, or is it?
It like
something else?
it bypasses like one page of like, this is your cart, keep shopping. It's like it sends you directly to the, here's the page that you would see after you hit checkout. So it takes you to where your information is already stored, like your billing information and your shipping information. So yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought maybe it's a form already, so like a software that fills out the form for the user. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I did not interpret it that way. I interpreted it as just, instead of going to like add to cart, it just takes you directly to the page where you can, it's essentially just hitting the checkout button, but it's on the page with the actual item rather than on like a cart page, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, like-
let's.
I just went to Amazon to see, like, and it's like, yeah, it really does. That's all it does. Is like, because I've never hit it before either.
Okay.
All right, let's try that one again. Okay. 3, 2,
Oh.
1. Okay. Everyone's at a 1. Woo! Cool. Last one. As an unsatisfied customer, I want to cancel my order, which I think is you've placed an order, it's processed things, and now you want to like say, no, I don't want that anymore. Not like you've put stuff in your cart and you have not hit checkout yet. Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh God. I don't know what things you have to send out to like notify all of the people involved in the process of like, hey, no, put it back on the shelf. Hey, credit card company, give the money back, all of those things. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think I was underestimated. I was like, just as I was starting to put it in my number, I started to think about like that it's not as simple as just like stopping it like right at that point of like cancel, that you have to send out messages to like if it's already gone to the distribution, like been ticketed out or however, like, but yeah, billing and all of that. So I definitely want to change my score. Something higher.
Okay. Let's try again. 3, 2, 1. All right, I can be talked down to an 8 because I feel like the people on this team know how to do more things than I do.
And I just thought that for the setup for the transaction, already all the parties are involved, and so the information is already there. So it's not that you have to retrieve it really from scratch for the cancellation. That's why I thought maybe 8.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it just depends on like what the service agreement is between all these different people, right?
Yeah.
If the thing's already like in the mail being sent out, how do you know, like if that just means all I need to do is notify you, like you're prepared, on their end, they're prepared for this to happen, right? But you'd have to like work, I don't know, there's a lot of like work that would have to be done with like other entities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to make sure that things would get returned the way that you would want them to.
Okay. Now, me and all my infinite wisdom, I did not keep track of what numbers we assigned to things. So I know the first 2 were 5s because everything was 5s for a little bit. And then I think the one after that was an 8. I think we got, because I was saying 13.
Yeah.
And other people were saying 5s.
Which one was it?
That would be the data visualization on Moodle. You know what I can do? I can watch the recording and figure out what was what. I
That
can
doesn't
do
sound like any
exactly
fun,
that.
though.
That's fine. Okay, so I just want to make sure we get all of the points of this meeting. So I'll watch the recording. I will get the numbers down. It's just the middle two. I don't remember what they were.
Right.
Just want to make sure we got everything.
Yeah.
We need to have I can make a text file and send it to everyone. We need a team name. I will upload this recording to my school YouTube channel and I will put the link in there. All of the team members are here and then we'll have the relative sizes. So we need a team name.
You can't just send him the Zoom link or include the Zoom link recording? Like you have to upload it to something?
I think so. I'm saving it locally to my computer because that's what we have to do for all of my school meetings.
Oh, okay.
Legally.
Yeah.
Love that. Love it when kids are involved.
Hmm.
So yeah, but that shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
And then everyone, considering we have more than 3 hours, it won't take 3 hours. But we do need a team name. Does anyone have great team name ideas? I will say that my team name, anytime I have to come up with a team name and no one else will participate in the coming up with the team name, our team name is 3,000 Screaming Horses. I don't know why. It's just a thing that has followed me from college. So unless someone suggests a better team name, I will submit that our team name is 3,000 Screaming Horses. Please, someone else come up with a better team name.
It's not our just like for the purpose of that. It's not just our whatever he called us team awk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then which I know is like a code thing, but it just sounds awkward.
Right.
To make it really confusing and take someone else's team name.
Yeah. Is it not supposed to be our like I guess like for consistency? Is it supposed to be? Well, we need to talk about like.
What
The project is going to be.
that would help a lot for like the team name if we knew
Yes.
what we were doing.
Hmm.
Which, has anyone had any project ideas? It's a good question.
I posted something on the Piazza about us doing something about like a learning management system style thing. So I could keep track of like student progress, just because that is my life right now, is checking assignments, giving feedback, emailing students and parents, just on a continuous loop. But I would be down to do anything.
Yeah, me too. So I would be down with that idea. But I'm up for anything really.
I had posted an idea that was kind of around like, I don't want to call it contact tracing, but it's similar to that in that like I used to travel a lot and like my partner, he travels a lot and like we'd inevitably get sick. And it was like, who on the plane gave me this? Like, or what was it on my flight? Was it when I was at this hotel that I caught this flu that, you know, the doctors don't know what it is because I caught it in another country. But I think like there's like some complexity with that. And I'm pretty comfortable, like, again, like working in the education space, like in terms of technology. So like, if I'm fine with like something along those lines, but I don't know.
I didn't really get it. So you were thinking about some kind of illness tracker for traveling or something?
Yeah,
Or?
like the idea was that if you, like say you traveled abroad or something